everybody, how are you all doing today? I'm Benterius Blackheart and welcome back to some Genshin Impact. Let's see, let's grab this. And check what I have left to do here first. Okay, Leyline Flow is up and running, so I'll definitely do 3 of these since and I'll probably do it on Sunday as well if it's still up by then. I think it should still be up because I do need this hero wit. This one's done. Done. I don't know why this was being marked again. Did this cycle? If it did, that means more Primogens, which I do need because I do want to go for Risley. Before he goes away. Unfortunately I got 3 wishes, well 4 now with these Primogens. If by Sunday, given that it should still be up by then, Thursday. Yeah, this should still be up by Sunday, technically speaking. No, just in case I'll do it today. We'll see. I'll probably do single polls in hopes of getting Risley. For now, let's see. Let's find one of those ley lines. I think there's any on Sumeru. But there is one right here. That's the one I'm looking for. Once I do 3, that'll be it for these. Oh, just a lizard just standing there for the taking. It is raining, so there's no point in. When it's raining, shouldn't these like be off? For some reason they're not. Oh well.
Shine down! Show no mercy! You play!
Bow your head.
Illusion shattered! Stay put!
Settle down.
Whack it.
Silence.
Wait.
The tides beckon.
Let's make this back. Now that was a bit of an overkill. But that was taking too long. Hey there, Kirito, how you doing? Okay, it went that way. Wait, what day is it today? Well, shit. I just, noticed something completely forgot. Good for you. Oh, now we got like, what, 2 days to prepare? I'm pretty sure I've done that before. I'm gonna do it anyway, over there. Oh boy, I don't think I'll be able to prepare something in 2 days.
Settle down.
Fulfill our pact!
Bow your head. run from death.
Is that one way? Okay. The thing that I forgot that I just remembered is that this with more. No, I have more than 2 days. Actually, no, I miscalculated. I have up until Sunday to try and prepare something for my 4 years of streaming. Something right.
Settle down.
On Sunday.
Huh.
Okay, yes, I've done this one before. I remember there being a ring of slimes. That had a chest in it. It must have been this one. And it just would have been right here. Actually, I should not be going down. It should still be up here. Let's ignore those guys. Oh, it's definitely gonna be a robot. What the? I'm guessing something killed the weasel. No, not just any robot.
Show no mercy.
Bow your head.
Good thing he's a pushover with it. Oh, with that, that's 3. That means no more doubles. Get rid of this. Cancel navigation. So to confirm what I think I just saw, did this thing actually reset? If it did, it would be amazing.
Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to befriend them.
Probably, yeah. They both like very dangerous training methods. No, this did not reset. Let's see then. Guess I'll just pick a character to grind then. But who do I grind this time around? Are they going for relics? No, do I going for artifacts or do I going for the levels of someone else? Alright, now that I have those, I should actually be leveling up him. Actually, now that I think about it, let's go deal with this and have Gamin ready for another level, because Gamin is actually a pretty decent pyro DPS, and I have had challenges where plunge attacks have been having a pretty good benefit. And Gamin and Xiao both are plunge attack users. Okay, Gamin. Your boss is somewhere over here. There. Fei Xiao has a massive edge, I'd say. Especially after eating who lays power. Like, Xiao's no pushover. She is deadly. Not to mention, she does have a weapon provided to her by a god. And the god of a hunt of all things.
Get to work.
Of course.
Be sanctified. Settle down.
Show no mercy. Lolly, it's Papa. Don't be scared. Shine down.
Thank you for the follow there.
Silence.
And not working. Queen, I'll see in a second.
Let the mighty be humbled.
Hang on. Where is it? I'm pretty sure it was on kick, but because the layout of the kick changed, I cannot see it. Okay, there it is. I think further streaming official. How you doing? I have to watch over on a smaller screen of my laptops, given that I only have one monitor. And 3 chats open at once. Ooh, I got 3. Not a bad goblet. It's a pretty decent goblet. I don't know, given that those guys have fun, like
Illusion shattered.
true abomination.
Get to work.
Settle down.
Like power scaling between Star Rail and Dragon Ball, like the people of Star Rail are technically people that can take on literal gods and actually win. No, but they're not defeat a god. On the contrary, he got his ass handed to him.
Be sanctified.
There is no escape.
It was Fei Shaolong who defeated a true immortal as well. Ooh, another 3, nice. Not really good. This might actually be a box.
Illusion shattered.
Silence. Let the mighty be humbled.
Okay, then he was about you go do these little AoE.
Bow your head.
Show no mercy.
Silence.
Anyway, sniper, when he's about to die. unfortunately don't have enough for a second boss. I got lucky all the way through, like, I got 3 all the way. I'm only missing 3. Unfortunately, I don't have enough for another fight. I got 20 points left, so... might as well use it on an artifact. On whose artifact? I guess I could go and try and do for the hunters and maybe get a better version of the artifacts Gamin has here if I'm lucky, or maybe for one of the others like Nuvilette. Maybe I could probably switch these right here. Just not been very lucky with the goblet. Well, simple. The monsters we fight here have one key weakness, and that's to dust. All our weapons are imbued with said dust, granting us powers of a variety of elements. And some of us have been gaining the ability to use some form of magic, like myself. This makes killing the Grim a lot easier than just punching them. Hell, even Wise has weapons, if you haven't noticed. Even though she's punching, she's literally got shotguns on her fist. Except that you can't really kill them without dust. You may make them run away, or just go somewhere else by some other means. But to truly kill them, you will need to use the dust. Yeah, let's go for...
I see the value in my...
Oh, Nuvilla, shut up. Oh, wait, I just noticed, Nuvilla is a little hurt. Why is he hurt? Of course, it doesn't put me at the statue itself. Oh, so you say that when these things have similar abilities compared to the dust itself. Not to mention some might even be untouchable without it. One that maybe could be modified with some kind of form of dust.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew.
Yeah, I'll go with... I'm actually gonna go with what I have, even though it says fire and wind. I don't really have a proper geo applier, plus Nuvillate's a bit ranged. And well, I don't... Sucrose is not properly built as well. Aside from Sucrose, I don't think I have any proper Nemo applier.
Get to work! Stay put!
Bow your head.
The tides beckon.
Shine down! Show no mercy! Suffer the wrath of Eastleaf!
Settle down. Be sanctified.
Fulfill our pact! There is no escape! East Lawleen! East Papa! Get him! Uglay! You're up!
Silence. The tides beckon.
Ah, damn it, it's an anemo one. Wrong element! I'm still gonna keep it, it's decent. Now I used up my resin. What is all this? Well, you're doing some sort of making your own custom weapon. Twisted dust. I brought plenty. And I'm sure the other girls got plenty of materials. Okay, can't you see what character I work on? Oh wait, where should be home? Wasn't this one of the orcas I was waiting for? That really is that commission I was waiting for, and might as well go and take care of it. Ah yes, that is one of them. That one needs to be completed, which is probably divided into several, before I can get the world quest tied to it. I suppose it's somewhere in there. A poem. I'm sure we can add some contraption that will allow you to use dust, or they fire an it, or adding some explosive effect to your poem. Remember him, which is just training with him. Sorry about that, all by me. It was just a little bit shocking. One A, cut it out. I got it with a prank. Okay, A, stop throwing lightning on my head. expecting that at any moment it's gonna get struck again, but for some reason it's just striking back there. Almost if it doesn't know where I am.
Settle down.
That was pretty one-sided. Yeah, what did you learn? Getting your ass handed to you? Seriously? So it's the same dialogue. I have no idea how many times I think you do that one. Perhaps! Interesting. Do you mind if I take it apart and have a look how it works? Let's see. I doubt that it is this object. Supposedly in here after some of us, those or a certain version of that one. Or inside. Anyone inside? Into some dialogue. See if there's anything triggers. Okay, no. So I guess I need to do the commission a few more times, apparently. I highly doubt it went that far up. Okay, took care of that. Guess I'm gonna have to wait for another one sometime later down the line. Actually, might as well turn these in. See the commission sector over here. There we go.
Add Astra. Thank you for complete. Add Astra.
Primogens are primogens. Let's see. Right now, in here. Whose do I do now? Well, in the map I keep on saying Dia. I honestly want you to do Dia. Let's go take care of her. Let's go take care of our waifu. And I think that's down in Maru's Bazaar. Or no, maybe the Academia.
Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp
No,
and pure,
ended up being
while water from Liyue has an
in the
enduring
bazaar.
aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water...
Shut up, Novi.
Paimon's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list?
Yeah, I think they did do that actually. I just don't remember who they were. It's been ages since I've seen the OG.
Oh, what a mouthwatering
And we got the
smell.
uncensored OG
Paimon would
here.
know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's go get some. We can still add it to the list.
Well,
Hey,
it isn't the
Gyoko
traveler
had
in
no
Paimon.
shame as a
Wasn't
kid.
expecting to see you here.
in the original one.
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a while.
Huh. So you two are still hanging out together. Dia, didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard, not that our friendship was over. We're still the best of friends. The
That's
Homayanis
nice.
also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous, so me and the other mercs never pass them up.
Yeah, it's been far too long.
I told Dia to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dia wasn't around.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming. Anyway, the
Are we ever
job is
gonna meet
already
them?
taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But the master kept insisting, and I ended up staying for another day.
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dia. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
What? She said they'll treat you to the best dishes. I can't believe you can still refuse that.
Paimon, not everyone thinks with their stomach.
But wait. Didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just take me with you today, when you leave? There are so many places I still haven't visited yet.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade. Besides, the desert hasn't exactly been the most peaceful place lately.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
She's probably trying to deal with rogue Aramites, bandits,
All right,
among other
fine.
things.
To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like I feel like something is off about you lately. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid. Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Yeah, she did
Did
run
you
into
swear
trouble.
on that?
Our
Friends shouldn't
kitten
lie to each
ran
other, you
into
know.
some kind of trouble.
I wouldn't
And she's
pry
probably
any
gonna
further
ask
if you're
for our
willing
help.
to swear on what you just said. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
What beans?
Mm,
It's no time for
Looks like
snacks.
Junior's Odd was onto something.
Ruby. Maybe she's been a bad influence.
you're too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
My lady... You're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? Alright, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion. Okay, let's talk here.
I mean, they were in the middle of the
Just
street.
try not to draw any extra attention.
Yeah, Paimon, don't draw any extra attention, even though you look like a floating child. Yes, yeah, Paimon would actually.
As you
bring
may
out more
already
attention.
know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me.
I
Just
have a
going
floating
around
hail on
looking for
her,
jobs to
really
earn some
sounds
mora.
Glowing sparkles. I would definitely look on Paimon's way, because that would attract attention.
My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of Mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
Deshret's relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Yep,
Deshret.
you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dakan al-Akmar.
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years.
If it really means beard, then yeah, it is a really stupid name.
Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what did they do?
I have a feeling that it is bad and you're just trying to play it up.
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them. Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's Relic sees it. All I do know is that Dakan al-Akmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years. If I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Madness,
How can
Insanity.
your father do such terrible things?
lust for power, greed.
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after women. Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
I'm sorry, Dia. I didn't know.
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I
What's
mention
that?
that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me. He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. The one thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull. He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play.
Well, if you're not hungry, you can at least still eat, I suppose. It seems like that poem can be cracked open or modified or cut. You might want to consider building a new weapon of your own, so that you can imbue it with dust or put dust cartridges. I mean, have you seen some weapons around here? Most of them, if not all, turn into some kind of gun. Well, my sword being the exception, so it allows me to use magic.
Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords. It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
What an interesting guy.
It doesn't sound like he had all bad intentions.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish. But that was
Definitely
something I
sounded
could just
kinda
shrug
childish.
off. I had no reason to despise him. Until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, they would even openly boast about them. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down.
Oh, most
Did they
definitely.
really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady.
Yeah, but knowing
It's
all
all
that,
water
then
under the
she
bridge to me
never
now.
relied on Mahumacho
I had a
to deal with
huge
them.
argument with my father and left that place behind for good. I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father.
Force of elite.
I just want to protect those that are close to me.
Find out why Sari started causing much more trouble.
Yeah, I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge.
Sure.
It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
In danger, she's no stranger to danger.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
I'll bet you did this
Huh?
idea.
But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess, too.
Well, he's super tough, so if he went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the problem would be solved in no time.
Sort of.
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took him along to help. I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, stay
Anything to
safe.
spend more time with my kitten.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady. All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we can catch up a bit with my fellow mercs.
It does seem a little bit limited, but I don't sense any form of element type on it. Even if it did, plus is that you can actually imbue your attacks with elements like fire, ice, thunder. Just name a few. Very
Hey,
effective
Dia,
against
you're
heavy
back.
armored foes
Are these two friends of yours?
and large crowds. Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise. There's no need to be so formal with us. We're a pretty casual crew. Anyway, since we've got newcomers, let me fill you in on what Dakan al-Ahmar's been up to lately. They've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets. They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. And it sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, they sell it off to a different brigade, or turn to merchants on the black market. A portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and weaponry to be used in their next violent operation.
That's terrible!
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so desperate for Mora. A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as merchants to conduct trade with them. We were able to learn a few things from the exchange. Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be more accurate to say that they're experiencing an internal power struggle.
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims are mercenaries from the other brigades of Deshret's relics. If their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades within the relics. That's the only plausible explanation we have. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific. It seems they're also trying to keep things under wraps. Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as Dakan al-Ahmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics as a whole became a lot weaker.
They were able to cause so much damage. That somehow makes things even more confusing.
It sounds mighty strange to me too. Harun, you can leave the rest of the investigation to us. Gotta say though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole undercover mission during the few days I was gone. Sounds like you were really putting your necks on the line, no?
Nah, it was nothing. We're just as concerned about the situation as you are. The Khan al-Ahmar is your father's crew after all.
What he said. Besides, Dia, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of us combined? What we did is nothing compared to your experiences.
Why
Yeah.
mystery?
And while they went to talk with Dakan al-Ahmar, I took a look at the last camp they attacked. Any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left in the camp.
Ah, Hisham and Khalaf. You're here too.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Rebat. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, I'm sensing a special vibe from him. Now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you, we can also rest easy.
Hey, what about Paimon? Feel anything special?
Nah.
Oh,
It's just a pet.
you're also
emergency.
planning to tag along with them?
Yeah, I mean, we do need emergency food.
Of course! Paimon is the traveler's most important guide. Wherever he goes, Paimon will follow.
Oh. In that case, then you'd better take care of her too, Dia.
Don't underestimate Paimon!
Paimon, all you do is just float around and eat food and complain.
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but she's been through just as many battles as the traveler here. Even if she had only survived on sheer luck, then that alone would still make her quite formidable.
And Paimon's expression.
I had no idea. I guess I shouldn't judge by appearances.
Oh, one other thing, Dia. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming schedule? We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Mane. You weren't around at the time, so people were pretty disappointed to only find our crew of rough, unkempt guys. The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few people chose to stay, and that really got to him.
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry and I couldn't make it back in time for the event.
I'm surprised they didn't bring him along.
Gotta admit,
thanks.
I can understand their disappointment, though. You're our brigade's main selling point, after all. Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more smoking hot members into our ranks.
Oi, she might.
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? You all just froze up with your mouths gaping like a bunch of scarecrows. The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in joining us, but after that, they both told me they were too uncomfortable to stick around.
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
Huh? Wait, are you serious? Why have I never heard about this?
I don't think you were part of the brigade yet.
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that, and you weren't even gonna tell me?
All right. We can tell you about it later. Now's not the time.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
Are they always like this?
A bunch of clowns,
More
yes.
or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that doesn't put an end to it, then you just challenge them to a fight. But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously.
Are you sure
Being
about
direct
that?
and getting it all out of your system as soon as things come up is better than keeping everything bottled up, never talking about it.
Sorry, Dia, but hard to take you serious when you got a bunch of clowns running behind you.
That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. It's hard to stop once you get
Even
used to
they're
it.
getting
Though,
distracted.
I can never do that when I'm with the Homayanis. Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
Yeah, you hear her, Holof? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first. I drew up a map. Right here is the spot. There you'll find the merchant caravan responsible for getting rid of Dakan al-Akhmar's looted goods. All you gotta do is wait and ambush them in the evening. They'll have no idea what hit them.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to everyone else in the brigade as well.
No, you should have dispersed that energy on a safe manner. You're probably gonna get in trouble for causing an explosion in school ground.
Will do. You stay safe, Dia.
Very far? Yes.
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time. It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another, so let's all be careful.
No need to worry. He knows his way around a fight.
You've seen Yan can actually keep up with you. I actually think she's faster than you.
I'm not worried about that. What I meant is that we probably shouldn't go too hard on the enemy. After all, we still need to get information out of them. Ah, here they come. You ready? Let's not give them a chance to react and end this quickly.
Oh, let's actually do a wizard. Like
Feeling lucky today? I'll beat you want this one?
Let's get it on!
There we go. Okay, time to talk. Or this kitten's gonna scratch your face off.
The Flame Bane.
Good. That saves me an introduction. Alright, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dakana Lakmar now? Tell me, what are they after?
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer. What makes you think I'd talk?
Huh, are you calling me weak?
That might have worked on an amateur, but I know you're just looking to protect your reputation. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this line of work? Tools like, I don't know, your limbs or eyes? You've got 5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how much your employer's information is worth to you.
Whoa!
It's alright, Pam.
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way. 2 seconds!
I'll save you the trouble.
What the? Did he just poison himself?
Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies.
Oh, he just simply tried to bite his
I
tongue.
definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't too deep, and he just passed out from the pain.
But why would he be so extreme?
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by threatening them. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but maybe it's not a good idea to interrogate him any further. What should we do?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after that. He might just hurt himself again if we start asking.
Or worse.
There are lots of goods around here. Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find something. I'm really sorry.
There's some weapons in this book as well as a bunch of medicine and bandages. And it seems that kind of armor is really up to no good. There are a lot of daily necessities like food and water in the boxes. It doesn't seem like there's anything noteworthy.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti. All familiar names. Dakana Lakmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well. This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for Mora, and the funds will then be passed to a specific person. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which will then be brought right back to Dakana Lakmar. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
No value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered.
Maybe the more amount is having to cancel each other out?
Perhaps. But they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Do they not care about profit margins at all? Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. There are a lot of entries. Everything was probably sourced from the rainforest. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazamon Homayani?
Homayani? You mean Dunyarzad's family? Could it just be another family with the same last name?
I'd be
good.
surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shazamon Homayani is Dunyarzad's father, and the head of the Homayani family. Just what the heck is going on here?
Calm down, dear. Let's handle the situation
I'm
first.
sorry. You're right. I'll consider what we found and not jump to conclusions just yet. But what this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani family has been providing goods to Dakana Lakmar.
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark and don't know they've been trading with Dakana Akhmar?
That's a possibility, but if that was the case, why is this caravan specifically named Shazamon as their person of contact? They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Ribat or Port Ormos.
If Shazamon was actually aware of this, then perhaps he's been supplying the brigade operation this entire time.
Yeah, funding violence and looting. The brigade gets the goods, and he is paid the proceeds from the sale of the loot.
But why would he do something like this? It's not like the Homayanis are in need of money.
I
point.
honestly have no idea. I've been to
maybe
their
they are in
estate
need of
many
money.
times, and I've never noticed anything suspicious. The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for Dunyarzad's Elazar. Maybe they borrowed a lot of Mora in the past? But that's still just a speculation. I don't think the Master would stoop so low to make Mora.
You'd be surprised. Who knows anything about this
You're
either.
probably right. I know my lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep something like this from us.
But what should we do now? All we found is just another mystery.
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this. I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. I still have faith in the Homayanis. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and
Didn't you
see if
search
she's willing to
totally
lend us
fine,
her
and
support.
She probably knows absolutely nothing, but will probably end up helping us trying to
If we're
figure
lucky,
it out.
we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper, but also follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the people responsible at Dakana Lakmar.
Well, using that, you probably won't even need to rely on that.
Dia, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the enemy?
I've considered that possibility. But even still, I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe her that much. True friendship is built on trust. She showed
True.
genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion. That's not how I deal with people.
You're right.
She's
Kinda wants to trust
she's
Dunyarzad
really
too.
caring idea for a mercenary. So we'll find help. I hope will be of help to her.
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City.
I think we could probably go from here and just fly down. Nope. I did not know there was a hole there.
We're back, my lady.
The thing it wasn't a long drop.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then. Well, how did it go? What did you come up with?
Actually, we're still investigating. It's just that we've discovered something strange.
Most strong, unnecessary. Like I told you, dust is the most efficient way to kill them, the Grim. Brute strength is just a waste of strength. They're not affected by very much. Their true weakness is the effect generated by the dust.
I see.
These weapons
The clues you found have led you back here, in the city?
Channel its power. You will learn in time.
Something like that.
And why you should
Yeah.
build one.
You all look a little dispirited. Whatever you found must not have been very encouraging after all. Why don't you discuss it with me? Maybe I'll be able to say something to cheer you up?
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being upset with my father or anything like that. How should I put this?
So something is wrong. Even the Traveler and Paimon have been uncharacteristically quiet. On any other day, Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, Dunyarzad, we're back!
True.
So tell me, what happened?
Well?
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going to tell you next. It concerns the Master.
The Master? You mean my father? Okay, I understand. Don't worry about me. I'll listen as attentively as I can. My father has been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does to you. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever support an infamous brigade like them. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
It feels unlikely, though.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me.
It would be pretty heartbreaking for doing this.
Since you've told me
doing this hard.
everything you know, I should also tell you about some doubts that I've been harboring for quite a while. In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away and get lost. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dia?
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out to the Blazing Beasts. Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards. He offered me a pile of Mora, so I just signed on.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. Why did my father specifically reach out to the Blazing Beasts?
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe someone recommended us. I've never given it too much thought. I think I get what you're saying. You think none of this was a coincidence.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seems strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense. If my father had always been in contact with the Khan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dia into our house.
You mean the goal all along was to get Dia to be your bodyguard?
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
Probably.
So, the Master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
That's, things are looking like at this
Sorry
point.
we put all this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you.
Why?
Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
Yeah, this is not end up well.
Is that really the right thing to do? My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same. However, the Homayani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homayani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
Dia.
It's alright, Dia. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
True.
Hey! It's still too early to give up hope! What was the thing about friendship again?
True friends. Friendship is built on trust.
Right, yeah, trust! You
On
said that
time. It
yourself,
hasn't been
Dia.
that long since you had heard that. Are you thinking about food again?
Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts.
Your trust has been misplaced and probably has many conflicts, feelings as well.
Thank you, everyone. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I should always remember the trust that I've placed in people. In which case, my lady, could you ask the Master to come out and have a chat with us?
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation. Let's meet at the usual place then.
Usual place? Ah, right!
Why not here? Why not go inside? Wait for them inside. Let's play the bazaar. No. Why would we go inside the bazaar?
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two. This is the Traveler, and next to him is his travel companion, Paimon.
Ah, yes. My daughter has mentioned them from time to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person. But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish to discuss with me today?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention. There's something on this record that we're all pretty curious about.
So, that's what you found? Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing.
Well, you don't have a choice right now. You either say or Dia beats us out of you.
What I do know, though, Dia, is that the truth will bring you no solace. If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anguish.
Wait, me?
Yes. I understand perfectly why you came to see me. And I am touched by your collective commitment to do the right thing. But knowledge always comes at a price. And sometimes, as they say, ignorance is bliss.
Not wrong. There's some noises better left unknown.
Your father, Kusela, and I both believed that. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but I must warn you. The facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand, blowing in the wind. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His heartfelt efforts? I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow. I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support. I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. None of these things have anything to do with him. I came here today to support you as the head of the Homiyani family. No warning will change my stance on that.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story. Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed lost, a group of passerby Eremites lent us their support. Those Eremites were Kusela's brigade, Dekan al-Ahmar. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dekan al-Ahmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow Eremites? Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Really? I never knew.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age. We started talking about our children, and I sensed that he was a devoted father. To repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time, and offered everyone generous remuneration.
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself. He couldn't even walk anymore without his cane.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. That was all. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own. At the time, Dunyarzad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar. There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house. But he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular, a mercenary named Dia.
So he was the one who recommended Dia to you.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercenary life. If Dia could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease, and she'd be able to leave her previous life behind.
And that's
mission
why you offered
accomplished.
her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dia as my own daughter. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to spend however much it took. Kusela saved my daughter and me all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
He was always like that, acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Oh, alright, still training. I don't think you knew, but I can actually summon a creature similar to the Grim, albeit I still need practice.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dia's fees. I refused to take any Mora from him, but he'd always sent me funds anyway. Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that went on for a while until I received another letter from him a few years ago. The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine, and even explosive materials.
Wait! Isn't that around the time that Dekana Al-Akhmar started becoming more aggressive?
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. I wanted to meet him face to face to discuss things. But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put Dia at risk.
But by that same token, he should have also stopped asking for...
That thought occurred to me as well. I figured that he probably came to me for help because he had nobody else to turn to. After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food and medicine. I turned down all his requests for explosives and weaponry. I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help. In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose a solution that made me feel least guilty about myself.
If you can, please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in his world. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have brought me into this world in the first place.
Oh no.
That sounds...
Don't feel that way.
Yikes.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions.
There's another way of looking at this. They believe in him. Let's go with it.
Another way? I don't know. I knew him, and he was nothing more than a childish brute. I can't understand what's going through his head. But I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet. We still need to figure out his exact actions and reasoning for these last few years.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between you and him alone. I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his brigade with some goods, I tried my best to avoid getting involved any further with him. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dekana Al-Akhmar's merchant caravan. I think he should know Kusela's whereabouts. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tavern. Maybe you'll be able to find him there.
Understood. Thank you, sir. Then I guess this is bye for now, unless...
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, I'm still a little dazed and haven't finished processing everything quite yet. My father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I'm also not sure if there was a right way to handle this problem.
Yeah, I don't think there was any right way to handle the problem. But the best thing you could have probably done nothing, but that also wouldn't like solve the issue. I mean, like he said, he didn't give them weapons and bombs, but he ended up getting weapons from someone else. Someone with a lot less morals.
I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the Corps of 30 and let them render judgment.
Yeah, but we know a member of the Corps of 30 is actually providing them weapons.
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistakes.
it's not nighttime yet, so yeah, but it's almost nighttime. Is that good enough? There he is. It is good enough.
Huh? Who are you guys?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the Corps? Pretty bold, if you ask me.
Shh. Keep your voice down. How do you know all that? Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. I'll be happy to talk things over once we're somewhere private.
Oh, if you haven't noticed, everyone in the academy is, for the most part, a weirdo in some way, shape, or form.
This place should do. Alright,
Everyone
back
has
to
a
my
unique
question.
aura with your
How did
unique
you all know
abilities.
about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait, there's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I weighed it in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick Mora.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Khan al-Akmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of Mora from my last run. You just give me a number, and I'm sure we can...
Shut it.
Right, yeah, that's not gonna work on the
My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later. They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city.
Oh, really? You take Weiss first. The more you hit her, the angrier she gets, and she looks like she's engulfed in flames.
Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere.
Pretty far. This is the only portal near it. The other one's underground, so I'm not even gonna touch it.
Seems like we're in luck. That should be their camp right up ahead. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves.
Hopefully.
I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Tia, why are you here?
It's interesting how she can see at one point like pitches the sword and actually punches them on the face.
Your mommy teach you that?
think he's stuck. Put you back in there.
Let's get it! Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
Buckle up!
I have my idea that you need to work on it. That's not bad. It's actually work on it.
I'll take gloves off!
She's so strong.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding him anymore. Did you understand a single word I just said? Or do I need to bash your skull in some more?
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down for a second. Dia, the boss can't come out and see you anymore. He died a long time ago.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Ahmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood for what they did.
That's when they turn on each other and motivated by revenge.
Let me start from the beginning. Dia, do you know how the head of the Relics maintained order internally?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They called it a person's record. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's Relics was forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters. Whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, the record served both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail.
And of course, they always cooperated with that, so they would always have a weapon against each of one of their members.
That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dia and ended up joining our ranks. But you, Dia, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's Relics who didn't know about it.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses and get beaten up as a result.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what it took.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this, and I'd never seen him get injured or beaten.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle? When you left
Point?
home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So, even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left the desert.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since the Khan al-Ahmar would soon be no more. His words made no sense to me, but that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed everyone's records to ash.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well. But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of the Khan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters' strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch our attack. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end.
But Desert Relics haven't been the only victims of your revenge.
There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies, from food and medicine to weaponry and explosives. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid. We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many impossible battles. Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike their headquarters.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
Running to violence with more violence will only cause more pain. Do you have any idea the amount of damage you've done?
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. Those tales about sacrificing yourself to save the world. We used to always laugh at him for it, but in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself. As for me, I never considered myself a hero. We're all the lowest of the low. We have no right to even imagine such an existence. But maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. The spirit of the hero touched all those he had saved, and more people joined his cause. Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines, we were drawn in. And now, we want to see the story through to the end. I'm sorry, Dia. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
I don't think she can.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dia? You wanna go with them?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations get so bad that it's difficult to tell good from evil.
True.
All I know is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed. Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I want to know if my father is still there. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Manura's idea.
Yeah. Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see this through to the end.
True. We gotta make sure our kitten comes back.
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
Of course, I'll loot some of her supplies. Of course, they won't mind. Oh, that's actually pretty far. I don't think I have any portals nearby. I think this place may be too low. Yeah, it is too low. It's coming from this side. It should be high enough for me to reach it.
Clear skies can do nothing to hide the brilliance of lightning. Divine bolts can strike even in the absence of rain. Do you see that tree? Wait, you understand? So, demonstration is not required. Good.
I see a shrine. I don't think that shrine is marked. Positioning yet. Okay, I think it's like right about here. What's with the sudden sandstorm?
Is this the entrance? We sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here.
I mean, we did come
Should
from
be.
up above.
I don't think they have enough manpower left to post guards and defend their perimeters.
Sure, why not?
Wow. Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
Oh yeah, that's what I've seen better days.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
Many situations like this before.
Yeah, we'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before, but their name means nothing now.
I don't know if I'm the right person to talk about this. I mean, Osmond's normally the one with the motivational speeches.
They don't stand a chance with you here. I'll take the lead. I've been here once before.
What's that on the other side? It's like a puzzle of some sort. wait. Don't hit him from behind. Don't hit him like kicking from behind.
Don't be scared.
You're dead meat!
Get back here. Stop running away.
Lucky today.
You ain't messing around!
No more tricks up your sleeve.
Stay put.
Look alive!
Hell, I won't climb pretty far.
Let's get it on!
You want this one?
You left.
Buckle up! Hi!
There you are.
You want this one?
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Sorry for being vegan. There were a lot of them in there.
Wait, they went charging ahead without checking for any traps.
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we triggered anything else.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this, seems we'll have to fight our way through.
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Go and take a look around. There could still be another way through. Let's go! We can't let the boss down.
Let's check if there's another way. The sooner we can make it through to help them, the better.
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked by something. Let's try our luck with that mechanism.
Okay, let's go.
Using the tree. What are they called, those people again? The one with like horns, animal ears, other animal traits. I can't remember what they were called. There you go. This only wasn't making sense. Yeah, that. Those.
Let's get it on! You asked for it.
Freaks in their own way. I think often probably the
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
You probably notice people with animal-like traits. That would be them. Horns, ears, tails. Again, believe one of your teammates really doesn't like them. Oh, great.
Look alive!
Inside the ring.
Illusion shattered!
Show no mercy!
Oi, get back here, coward. There you are.
You're dead meat!
Oh, we always forget. Until something stuns the white fan, or the original leader returns, there's not much anyone can do.
Hi! Get to work!
Fulfill our pact! Shine down!
Let's get it on! Ha!
It's not like entirely invisible and I can't still hurt it. I think it's a loot. Okay. Please. So get rid of this one. And then change its color. Also in the right position. Nope. Wrong object.
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side. But as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Don't waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Run? Had I wanted to run, I would have fled 1,000 times already. I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind, all that awaits me now are endless days of humiliation and ruin. Even now, my brothers and I still believe in one thing. The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory?
Let us draw our weapons! We will show them the true power King Deshret bestowed upon his followers. They are but two, while we hold within ourselves the entirety of the relic's glory.
What relics?
Wave 1, charge! Eliminate will not abandon any one of his followers.
Guess I didn't get the memo, the truth of all of that, right?
Shine down! Show no mercy!
Don't be scared!
Gloves off!
Now you're testing my patience.
Will. Brothers! This is where we prove our faith.
You all just wanna die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
There is no escape!
Staggering.
Goodbye. But we'll meet again. Look alive! You asked for it.
That's all I want.
The commander has finally fallen.
But they're still coming at us! This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep coming no matter how many we beat.
Yes! Keep fighting! There's no need to fear, and no need to back down! This is our last stand!
When the next wave comes, try to draw away their attacks. I'm going to see if I can take out that high platform.
Oh, she definitely can. Since that the others finally made it.
Get out of my way!
Come and face me, Michel! Ugh, so they've broken through the front as well.
Apologies, Lord Michal. They fight like absolute madmen. No matter how much we throw at them, they just keep coming for more.
I was wondering when that was gonna happen. That was a bit delayed.
So, it would seem like this is the end.
Time to pay for everything you've done, Michel.
You think I would give you that opportunity? I will be buried in the sand alongside all the rest of our fading glory.
Hey, wait!
What is he doing? What just happened?
We were too late.
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then I'll give you all a good beating as well.
Hey, Dia! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
What happened? He just dropped dead or something?
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret's relics, and you still can't even tell who's made it all the way to your headquarters?
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple, and you all just show up on the other side instead. How are we supposed to figure out what you're after? Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Kusela? Why would I know? It's not like I'm in charge or anything.
This is your last chance to talk.
Hey, I said I don't know anything. I'm just an average member here. I'm telling the truth. If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves? Who can remember every name and face with so many people coming in and out every day?
The irony. His life became a light for so many, yet to others, It wasn't even worth remembering. Where's the records room? Answer me!
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them as much as you want. It's not like any of them still matter anyway.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? You mean the one that got burned down? Kusela. Ah, yeah, I remember him now. The guy who could hardly walk. Watch your mouth. That's our boss you're talking about. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in. But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and started a fire in the records room. He couldn't have possibly outrun us if it wasn't a fraud. And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete disarray.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware of what he had done. Tell me, where is the old records room?
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself if it means that much to you. There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could ever survive that kind of inferno. Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard these guys. Spare them no mercy if they try anything.
Don't put the wrong idea. Everyone looks everyone up. Some people see this as a competition, people divided into teams. Others, they're just too wary, or on the defensive given where they came from. And others like the faunus, well,
So,
you can't blame them for
this
being
was his final
castrated because
destination.
they're always being treated.
How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire? If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
Tia.
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around. Maybe we can find something that's been left behind.
Oh, we found a cane.
Is this a cane? It must be the one that Dia's father used.
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if something else has been left behind?
But what else could survive a fire like that?
You'll be surprised. Most probably the cane is hollow and there's something inside of it. Or it's some kind of lever. It's a weapon.
Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dia has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all.
Toy sword.
Dia,
How do they have also toy
this is the most
sword?
important line.
You can do it.
He's
Dia,
so
you defeated the
adorable.
dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
This is so adorable.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad.
We will share with a group of 30, which finally joined order. And of course I couldn't finish reading that.
What's this?
some snacks and drinks. All on Paimon's tab.
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money. And Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You looked super confused at the time, but said it was an adorable thing to say.
No. Your pool is different. Your treasure is that cloud in the pool. They're definitely unique, and the cloud is very efficient for traveling, not gonna lie. It's nice that you held on to that stuff. Who knows, maybe you can figure out a way to modify it. After all, the Grim are weak to dust. Hey, even I myself and my weapons have dust.
These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's life philosophy.
To have such unique properties. To release pens from allowance on other people. Really, my tree, but you get the point.
Hey, come on! Paimon's not that stingy.
Are you sure about that?
Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. You'll feel better for sure once you've gotten something in your tummy. Junior Azad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Drop dead.
Aw, thanks you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me. I just had a lot on my mind on our way back, so I didn't know what to say. My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions.
No surprises?
They just shook me even more than all the feelings we've shared during our previous adventures. But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace, and I was left feeling more empty than ever before.
Maybe that's because you got closer regarding your old man.
It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me.
Well, yeah, there's that too. It just happened
Yeah,
so fast.
you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But perhaps to us, it's the most worthless thing of all. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But when it came to avenging my father, there was no Mora to be made anywhere.
Yeah, but if I right through it, fall right through it. I mean, I am a soldier after all.
My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different? Despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand him, I still went to such lengths to find out the truth, and nearly even shed tears for his sake.
But yeah, I do think we would be able to set on the flying numbers.
We're hypocrites. All of us.
Never question your true feelings, though.
Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often only recognize our true feelings after it's already too late.
You're back! Are all of you alright?
Ah, there she is!
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. All I can do now is wait for their verdict. Huh? Dia, you're looking quite down again.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened while we were gone.
I'm sorry. I really should have controlled my emotions better. I just...
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well. Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a little guilty watching you cry like this.
But Dia, your pain must be even worse. You shouldn't need to comfort me.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing has finally shown me the difference between illusion and reality.
I'm sure that Dia will probably find a quiet place to cry a little after this.
My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong with adapting to a new life? However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. This impulse brought me great turmoil, and even made me feel ashamed for turning my back on your father's kindness. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of who I am, and I will never be able to lead a peaceful existence.
I understand how you feel.
You can be part of this but still live a peaceful existence.
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, I'm now thinking about taking on some small odd jobs. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play. Even if the ending of the story may be childish and ridiculous, it won't really matter.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not out for Mora. Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating? What about stopping by the Grand Bazaar again?
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug for your family.
We'll come along too.
It's always more fun when everyone's together.
I can't thank you enough for taking care of me this entire time.
Anytime there, kitten. That was a way down from here, but guess I need to go up a little.
Oh, this rug here is quite something. The craftsmanship is exquisite, and the fabric is also of high quality.
And I like this one down here. I don't know if you guys can probably see it, but this one actually looks really nice. Well, these are pretty. I like the coloring more on this one. And this one actually looks a lot more pretty. I would probably get a rug like that.
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who bit his tongue? You can still talk?
Surprisingly.
Wait, are you here to take revenge on us?
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you all in a fight? I just came here to give you something. I'll be on my way to give myself up to the Corps after this. Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar's camp, hoping to alert them to your presence. But when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah, so you probably got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even that last camp was not going to last for much longer. I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well do the same. One of the injured members gave this box to me, and told me that it contained some of the old man's last possessions. Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get this to you before the Corps could get their hands on it.
Thank you.
No worries.
Good of him.
We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
So surprisingly, he got still stuck after
So
he
this
could still
box
talk after
contains
trying to
everything
bite
that
his own
Dia's
tongue off.
father left behind. Huh. It feels lighter than expected.
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with any Mora was spend it on things like drinks and meat. But let's see what's inside. What's this? It's just a bunch of junk. Ugh, it kinda stinks.
Perhaps it's just been left unopened for too long.
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's already yellowed, and it looks like it's about to fall apart. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule, he could have at least copied something useful.
That probably means important to him.
Ah, and here are a few bags of children's snacks. The packaging's completely deteriorated. Maybe that's where the smell was coming from.
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got them for me, but in the end, he always ate more than I ever did. Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Isn't that just common sense? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, some round iron tiles, a wooden toy puppet, a wool scarf, which from the looks of it probably belonged to a woman, and a hair clip? Why are these things here?
I'm suddenly feeling a little scared.
I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably saw this box as some kind of personal trash heap and dumped any and everything in there. No, 2 empty liquor bottles. Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
What an interesting man.
There's something in the bottle!
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it in the bottle, though. If I end up forgetting about it, it won't really matter. To Dia. It's a letter for me?
You don't need to read it out
It's
loud.
all right. I'll just read it out. If he went to the trouble of writing a letter, there must have been some important things that he wanted to say. Or at least record down.
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days left. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already long gone. You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you in the group.
I mean, we got to see Kid Dio and definitely looked adorable.
But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably the guy's
she's
fault.
still cute.
Can you believe this guy? He can point the finger at himself.
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you end up finding out the truth. The reason being that I was never your father to begin with.
Wait, what?
Surely, he must be joking, right?
I don't know.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called flame main. Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teeny tiny bit of effort, I felt I could rule over the entire desert. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day and discovered a baby in the sands. It was you. You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little while longer, you would have been buried forever. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were a bundle of energy.
Sounds like he's serious.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me.
No surprises.
I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice. I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father. At this rate, I'll puke up all the liquor I just drank from this bottle. Anyway, Dia, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's the end of the letter. In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child.
I mean, doesn't any good father think that way for their child? That's a good thing.
I suppose, or I would have suffocated under the sand a long time ago.
He was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative doesn't change that.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's just
Very
a
true.
pity that we had to learn the truth of everything like this.
Do you already have some ideas about the decision that he wanted you to make?
I do. If he first found me alone in the sands, then I want to try my hand at finding the person who abandoned me. I just have one wish. To tell them a story. That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold. And that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person I am today.
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time. Maybe we'll be able to find some information for you.
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
I don't want to see his efforts go to waste. And he is still going forward.
I'll help too.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you so much. My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but I've always considered myself lucky. Because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
What is that? Gotcha. Just happened to catch an ant just walking down my wall. Ants have been spicy lately these past couple of days. There we go. Albeit it had a bit of a bittersweet ending, this one. I hope eventually they revisit D or something. I would like to see where that goes from this point. Or maybe do something else with Dia. I really do like Dia as a character. Badass, strong, powerful, pretty much almost fearless, but yet she has an amazing heart, kind, loving, caring. I really do like Dee as a character. Unfortunately, there's no more with her, at least not here. No, I guess all I can do right now, I'm gonna go back to finishing this one up. Let's go from here.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion.
No thank you. It looks like it would explode at any given time.
This is the place that immediately came to mind when the hint mentioned a crossroad. I came here to conduct some astrological observation once.
Last time I was here,
we
talked to following the hint we
I
found,
was starting to get
and
used
she
to life
found
at the academia.
an item valuable to her that she had lost.
But just as I was about to set up the observation equipment, I heard a strange sound coming from nearby. I made my way here and discovered a bunch of bandits robbing someone. They were a group of treasure hoarders, and the family that was being mugged looked completely helpless. They definitely wouldn't have been able to escape, and simply handing over their Mora might not have been enough to make the bandits go away. Not exactly. I already had a vision by that time. Someone with a vision should technically be really powerful, right? Handling a group of treasure hoarders should be well within my abilities. However, I didn't know how to channel the power of the elements to fight at that time, and I was super scared. I wielded immense power, but I didn't feel any stronger than just an ordinary person. Then I ran away. I scrambled towards. Eventually, it took longer than I don't know if the family. I faced a lot of. I could have stepped in to help that family. Thank you for trying to comfort me.
But just options I haven't chosen.
I can't stop myself from thinking that way. It's just as the silly said. Turning back shouldn't be an option. However, I can't help but think about running away whenever I'm faced with a challenge.
Stick up searching for a bit.
But what about my thesis? We still haven't found the Sealy's answer yet.
Your health is more important than your thesis.
Sorry for causing you so much trouble. Alright.
Actually, her health is more important.
Actually
She
don't
definitely
have
should
much
rest.
stamina. I've been stressed
That's
this
her
whole
thing, that
time,
she is
and I
actually a
feel
sleepy person.
exhausted.
Actually, one of her idle animations, falling asleep while standing up and immediately writing her thesis.
I'm really sorry.
And waking up and being like, how did I do this? She sleepwalks, actually. And does more than sleepwalk, according to the ending I got first. But she's a lot braver when she's actually asleep. And maybe a lot smarter as well.
Let's stop here. I don't think
Yeah,
I
that's
can
because
look any
technically
further.
speaking, like lore-wise, she's been awake for several days straight. Not good for anyone's health. Do not stay awake for several days straight. It can actually be lethal. It's a fantasy game. They can ignore some of those rules. With like, I don't know, magic. I mean, she's a vision bearer after all.
Alright. I'm gonna give my legs a rest. I'll be waiting for you here.
No, seriously, do not stay up for several days straight.
I feel bad for making you go through so much trouble for me.
No, whenever I meet her, even in events, she's always sleepy. Let's go on different
I'm
things.
sorry. I always find myself having to apologize. But enough of that. I need to pull myself together. The memories I've been reminded of are all really taxing. I cannot just give up this time, even if my head's not in a good place. Letting these heavy feelings get the best of me will only slow us down. Watch out! Behind you! Monsters! A lot of them too. Why didn't we see them coming? No, I'll fight too.
You need to
But
rest.
I want to
Now
help.
sit your butt down.
I can't just
Let the
sit
professionals
back
take
and
care
watch
of it.
you while you fight. Don't worry, I can handle myself. I mustn't
I mean, she
keep
can create
repeating my
shields.
past regrets.
And summon a
That's
ball
the
that
most
rains
valuable
ice
lesson
spikes,
I've
not
learned
enemies.
today. I should take action when I'm needed and give it my all when the moment calls. If you miss those opportunities in life, you may never get another chance to make up for them. Huh. I suppose that's fate. All right, let's take them all down.
Illusion shattered!
Bow your head.
Be sanctified.
Nope, my shield is gone.
I really need to keep up with my training.
I mean, you're a scholar, not a warrior.
It's embarrassing
shield
to
is
be out
somewhat
of
useful,
breath so
although I have a better
quickly
version
like
now.
this.
You're right.
Well, the only appropriate response would be to say that I'm fine, right? I'm pale due to lack of sleep, not because of the fight.
Well, there's a little building in there. You can use my lap as a pillow.
But then again, I know you'd be able to see right through those words. I'm feeling weak. There's no hiding it. I'm just happy I didn't get in your way during the fight.
You did great.
Oh, thanks for the compliment. I sure don't get to hear that often.
She's adorable.
Although I may not be physically strong, my will is as resilient as they come. I'll be fine after I rest for a bit. Can you stay with me while I recover my energy? It shouldn't take long.
Whoa! Okay, that was everything that it seems like she took me on the offer for the lap pillow. And I need to go a bit further back to get the other ending here. I'm still missing 4 endings. Okay, so that's a mirror apparently. No, come on. I think I need to go through here to get there. So you make sure to choose options I haven't chosen. By following my instinct, I actually managed to find what she had found. I felt like I followed the main line. Oh, I guess a better description would be she's more cold-hearted and strict. But she does have her moments of care, especially towards you.
Finally, I wrote out my question and put it in the book. Wait, I guess. I'll come back tomorrow to check on it. I see. Alright then. Time to look at the letter. Please let there be a stamp. Please let there be a stamp.
I'm pretty sure it's still like her doing that.
There's a red stamp on it. The Sealy responded. Fantastic.
Sparkling.
This is wonderful. My troubles are at an end. I can't even begin to express how grateful I am.
I do believe by following this path,
Let's take a look at what it
actually
wrote.
ended up solving her troubles.
Thank you for your letter. Though I have extended a response,
I already know this one.
Okay, however, follow the hints I've left. Consider the effort you put in. What? It's absolutely right about everything, but I'm running out of time.
Maybe messing with you.
Good point. Why else would it use such a roundabout way to tell me its answer? Supposedly, everyone who's been pranked by the Sealy had angered it in some way. That means the Sealy is someone who's very strict and serious about knowledge.
Not gonna lie, she's making me sleepy now as well.
Who knows if it's really a Sealy or some person?
Then again, I didn't have coffee before starting stream. Instead, I had some food. Many issues that you have that line to meet. No guarantee that you'll actually get an answer, even after the line.
True. And if I don't get an answer, then I'll only have wasted more time. Oh, but there's nothing else we can do. It's the one holding all the cards. It's completely hidden and can choose whether to help us or not. After all, it'd probably be impossible to find it and ask my question in person.
Now that sounds like an idea.
Huh? I was just kidding. Oh, please don't take me seriously. It's a Sealy we're talking about. According to legend, Sealies are elusive and can create countless copies of themselves. Who's to say that it won't summon a shooting star to crush us once we find it?
That's very imaginative. Don't know who that is. That matters not. Shouldn't you be going to class soon? Those legends, do you?
Sorry, I'm just a little panicky. Okay, Layla, calm down and think. If the Sealy is a person, then there has to be a way to track them down. We have two possible leads
I just think
right now.
said Sealy.
The first is the checkout logs
Yeah, what she can do when she
of
falls
those two
asleep.
books, and the other is the red stamp. The red stamp bears the Retawahist emblem, which is used by a lot of people. It'll be hard to track down an individual, so we should probably start with the checkout logs. Let's go and make an inquiry. We can also ask around the House of Dana and see if anyone else knows something about the Wisdom Sealy.
Okay, so in this quest, instead we are actually investigating the Sealy itself in this path.
Hi there. Do you know anything about the Wisdom Sealy?
Yes, of course. I've been looking into it for quite a while now. However, I feel like I'm still missing some key pieces of information. Hey, maybe if we put our heads together, we can figure something out.
Sure. I'll try my best.
There are a few known traits of the Wisdom Sealy. First, it's extremely strong. It can easily
Hello,
carry a few
Revolver.
dozen
How you
books,
doing?
along with 4 or 5 pieces of astrology equipment all at once. It's extremely athletic as well. It
I
only moves in a
normally
straight
try and
line
be,
and doesn't stop for
chill.
anything, not even walls or rivers. Lastly, it has a number of special abilities. It has a hardened metal body that's impervious to injury. It can freeze water into ice, and it can
I do
also
want
summon
Wesley, though.
meteors.
Think Wesley should still be available on
That
Sunday. I
doesn't
might do a single
even
poll
sound
before I stream
human.
today. Then
Well,
we
it
do
is a
10 polls.
legend after all.
Luck's
It's
not
no
been on my
surprise
side.
that some details seem a little exaggerated. But these aren't just made up, you know. Each of its abilities has been confirmed by eyewitnesses.
And who are these eyewitnesses?
There have been many sightings too, including at Chatrakam Cave, the Avidia Forest, and around the waterfall south of Sumeru City.
Has anyone seen what it actually looks like? Or what kind of person it is?
Not that I know of. No one's been able to get close to it. It seems like it tries to stay out of sight.
Then how are you sure that everything those eyewitnesses said is true if they actually didn't even see the Silly? For it to be true, you would need to have actually been able to see the Silly.
I would probably want to remain a mystery too, if I were someone as legendary as the Wisdom Sealy. So what do you make of it? Have you seen it somewhere as well?
No. We're probably gonna need some time to digest all the, incredible information you've provided us.
Not a
Sleepy
problem.
girl.
But if you manage to find anything, be sure to come and tell me about it. I trust that you'll quickly discover the excitement of slowly unraveling the truth.
Doesn't help that today's kind of a hot day. I mean, heat tends to make me sleepy as well. Not to mention, I really don't like the heat.
Hi there. Have you heard of the legend of the Wisdom Sealy?
Do I really look like the kind of student that would be interested in such a pointless legend?
Oh, I'm sorry. We were just curious.
Well, I
rude.
do happen to have some information on it.
I just say
Huh?
so.
Logically, that has nothing to do with the question I asked. I just don't want others to see me as some poor excuse for a student, whiling away my time in the House of Dana.
I don't really think bad students would come to the House of Dana to pass the time.
True.
But anyways, you were saying?
Well, I spend most of my time here, and I have noticed something odd before. One time, late at night, a black shadow fell from above and landed in the central area of the House of Dana. Of course, I was a little sleepy at the time, but it startled me, and I got up to see what was going on.
Wait, you were taking a nap in the library?
And then what happened?
Lila, you should take notes from this guy. I mean, he's taking naps on the library. You should take naps too. You definitely look
Then, the shadow
really
quickly
need some
circled
sleep.
behind me with incredible speed. Just as I tried to turn around to get a look at it, I fainted.
That sounds pretty powerful.
Yes, it was unbelievably fast. I had never seen anything like it. It was so unusual that I wasn't sure if it was real or if I was half dreaming. But given how popular the legend of the Sealy has become lately, maybe this has something to do with it.
Don't take this the wrong way, but doesn't the House of Dana have a door?
It was closed that night. I suppose even the House of Dana needs to be closed for maintenance from time to time.
Oh, definitely. Every single building needs to be closed from time
I
to time.
see. That makes sense.
And, like, run some form of maintenance.
But what were you doing here if the House of Dana was closed?
Don't look so surprised. It's a common practice to find a place to hide before they lock the doors, so you can continue reading books here. Everyone knows that.
Alright, so you're a real bookworm. Guessing I'm not starting alongside you, I can tell that. Check me out.
Anyway, thank you for the info. I'll be sure to take note of everything you mentioned.
You're welcome.
One left. I'm looking forward
hello
to the new
there.
update.
Can I help you?
Finally, we get more like story. We get to visit. They finally get to visit the last tribe of
Hello,
Napalm.
I'm a Ratawahis student and would like to see the checkout logs for theoretical astrology and a quick reference guide to astrology cases.
Oh, are you also here to investigate the Ratawahist Wisdom Sealy legend?
Also? I suppose it makes sense that we're not the only ones investigating such a popular legend.
Yes, I myself am also quite curious about it. But unfortunately, I haven't found anything out of the ordinary. Given you're a Ratawahist student, I'm sure you know that a lot of research references these two books. All our copies of these particular titles are frequently checked out. I have looked into it, but found no irregularities in the checkout logs.
Is there any chance the Sealy could have taken the books out and returned them without being noticed?
Not likely. That would be almost impossible. The House of Dana is extremely strict about the circulation of its books. There will always be a record if a book is checked out. And even if it managed to figure out a way to take the books without leaving any record, it's possible that someone would come looking to borrow the books before the Sealy returned them. If someone discovers that a book is missing or that it doesn't match my inventory records, it would come to my attention immediately.
Depends how often you do inventory check.
However, it might be possible to pull off in the case of a less popular book.
Okay, I understand now, thank you. This is useful to know. With any luck, it'll help us work out the Sealy's identity.
I still convinced her.
Okay, everyone's given us a lot of useful information. Let's go through it and try to organize everything. Some things we heard were pretty straightforward, but others were just, ridiculous.
We should be able to figure out more about its identity and whereabouts.
Yeah. Let me think and see what I can make of it. Okay, calm down, Layla. I know the info's all over the place, but you can definitely do it. First, let's try to figure out the Sealy's identity based on the clues we currently have. Then, we'll analyze where it's been sighted and its motives.
Hopefully not.
Finally, we'll piece everything together. From there, we should be able to predict its movement. Alright, let's give it a try.
Check that log. Check that infiltrates.
It once infiltrated the House of Dana while it was closed. It's been to the Chatrakham Cave, the Avidia Forest, and the waterfall south of Sumeru City.
Maybe.
I may be able to come up with a more concrete lead if I keep thinking.
Okay, then this one.
I may be able to come up with a more... Book circulation is strictly regulated, and there is a log of anyone who checks out a book. The stamp. Which probably means they're a Ratawahis student. I may be able to come up with a more concrete lead if I keep thinking. I may be able to come up with...
Associate.
No, they're dead.
There.
Okay, I think I've got it now.
He's a little more convinced that I had to use it some way.
First, based on the information Katayun provided, we can assume that the Seelie is a student from the Ratawahis Darshan. The possibility of it being someone outside the Darshan can be ruled out because it'd be impossible to gain access to those two books without going through the librarian. Next, leaving its crazy abilities aside, all the sightings took place in locations that are officially recommended for astrology observation by the academia. In other words, it's probably just conducting research, and the nature of its research is very similar to mine. The question that I submitted was no simple query, but it was able to give me a reply in just a day. This implies that it's familiar with a similar field of knowledge. So based on this reasoning, all we have to do is wait for it at the next astrological observation site.
Everything is solid. Okay, you finish your thesis. Should be no problem.
It's nothing, really. There are actually some other factors that I've been speculating about. But that's not important right now. Let's get going. Even though we have a lead, it's still hard to say whether we'll be able to make any discoveries. I'll tell you what I mean by that if the Seelie doesn't show up.
Okay. Now let's go there. Oh, surprise is up there.
The weather today is perfect for observation. Let's see if it shows up. Honestly, spending an entire night waiting for something that we're not sure is gonna happen might not be the best use of our time.
I mean, you could always just take a nap and I'll stay up and keep an eye on things.
But we don't really have any choice. This is all we've got. Get some sleep if you're tired. I'll be up. It's not like I could sleep anyways.
Because you choose not to.
Thanks. Oh, how about I share some basics about astrology with you? If you're interested, that is.
I mean, I see an Aranara.
Sure enough, it didn't show up. We hardly saw any animals, let alone people. No matter how conclusive the evidence is or how perfect our reasoning may be, nothing will happen as long as I'm awake.
Referring to the listens to E or the listening to stars?
They're probably one and the same. It's like I told you, I have a severe sleeping disorder, and there have been a lot of rumors about me sleepwalking. I tried to understand what I had been doing when I'm unconscious, but I've never been able to get any definitive evidence.
Well, you definitely don't allow when you are
Something is actively attempting to cover up all the clues without my knowing.
Yourself.
Maybe that something is me.
Or maybe it isn't. I can't be sure. For all I know, I could even be the Sealy. But what if I am? Would the Sealy be willing to help me this time? What is it actually thinking? I really have no idea. Huh? You want to help me? Of course, it would be nice to know what's really going on. But that's impossible. It's always avoiding me and keeping me in the dark. And that won't change even if you're around.
Are you sure about that? Seeing how badly she wants to know, maybe we should find a way to ask the other Lila about it. I mean the other Lila.
Huh? What's wrong?
Nothing, maybe there really isn't anything we can do. Today we've come up empty-handed again this time.
Yeah.
Damn it.
To think I could have been working on my thesis this whole time. My stomach is churning just thinking about it.
That doesn't sound good. We're not going to finish it.
Please stop. The more you talk about it, the more silly I feel. Oh, come on, Layla. What are you doing? Everyone's gonna start thinking you're crazy now.
No, I don't like this.
I'm losing it. So dizzy.
Yeah, we're trying to force her to fall asleep. And yeah, she fell asleep.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got distracted there. Where were we?
Yeah, she's completely recovered.
Oh, what's wrong? You look like you've got something on your mind.
Are you the other Lila?
What are you talking about? What do you mean the other Layla? I am Layla.
Somehow you seem a little different. Why don't you repeat the conversation we just had?
Fine. It appears that you were waiting for me to show up. I suppose there's no use in me pretending. I promise I don't mean any harm and I'll answer all your questions. But before that, would you mind telling me who you are first?
A friend of Lila's. I'm trying to help her finish her thesis.
Let me think. Okay, I got it. You two found this place by following the hints that I left behind. You were planning to wait for me. Or I should say you were waiting for the Sealy to show up. Was this your idea or hers?
Mostly hers.
I see. Yes, she's always had great analytical skills. It'd be nice if she was more confident, though.
So if you suffer from double personality,
that's all the questions I have. Your turn. Please ask away.
How was a superhero named has multiple personalities? In a live-action series last year, I believe, or the year before that.
That's right. Though I didn't intend for it to turn out this way, really.
That was right.
I just wanted to help out a few other classmates who were having a hard time while I was helping Layla finish her thesis. You see, Layla doesn't have many friends at the academia. If the others noticed her helping them out, I thought maybe I'd help her become more sociable. Unfortunately, that didn't really work out. Instead, legends of the Sealy started going around. But that's alright.
What's with the Sealy pranking people? Did you infiltrate the house of the special powers?
Infiltrating the House of Dana was a total accident. She'd forgotten an important book, and the House of Dana happened to be closed at the time.
there were only days before the paper was due. I had no choice but to scale the walls with some simple climbing ropes and sneak in from above while the core 30 wasn't paying attention. I had no idea there was still a student inside. I had no choice but to put him to sleep.
Well, you
Any
can do
clear
that?
evidence of my existence would only hinder my ability to conceal my identity. It would also expose me to Layla as well. As for the special
Why
powers,
did you want Layla
well,
to know?
they're just things I did during the process of trying to finish the thesis. It's like I said, I don't have much time, so I need to be as efficient as possible. I can instantly tell which students are asking serious questions and which are just trying to take advantage of me to slack off. My time to move freely is quite limited, so it's only natural that I would punish the people attempting to waste my time. My intention is to help people. I'm not here to cause any harm. Well then, does that answer all your questions?
Yeah, I have one last question. Why don't you want her to know you exist?
You see, her emotions are incredibly unstable. She's constantly doubting herself.
True. Very
If she
true.
knew that there's another Layla who is capable of doing everything, she may think even less of herself. She could think, maybe I should just leave it all to her. I'm always relying on her anyway. Why not let her live my life for me? She might start thinking about giving up completely, and that's the exact opposite of what I'm trying to do for her.
Interesting. Come on, take my mouse.
After all, she and I are one and the same. We're two sides of the same coin. No one knows her greatest strength more than I do. It's her resilience. If she's able to persevere in everything she does, then one day she won't need my help anymore. I trust that she's capable of doing that, and it's something that she should do on her own.
So, maybe she actually starts taking proper naps then, maybe then.
She actually discovered the key data she needs for her thesis a long time ago. She just didn't organize it well enough. I'll complete her thesis for her just as I have in the past. Oh, please don't share any of this with her. I would like to keep this a secret for both of our sakes.
I understand.
Thank you for doing this for me. No, for us. She seems to be waking up now. Well, this is goodbye. If we never meet again, then I guess I did something right.
So that's probably why she never sleeps, because whenever she sleeps, this happens. And when she wakes up, there's this Lila. Who think she fell asleep.
Huh? Did I faint? Or did I fall asleep?
I thought you just had a little nap.
Oh, I see. Was I sleepwalking? I was, wasn't I?
Nah, not really.
Really?
You can't tell her
I
the
don't
truth,
believe
unfortunately.
you.
Because of
You're
what
hiding
could
something
happen.
from me. It's written all over your face.
Oh, really?
You said you were gonna help me, didn't you? Why are you holding out on me now?
Oh,
Please
it hurts.
tell me.
I need a hug or that'll help.
Promised you.
Ah, I hit my mouse. Oh, look at you, he's so adorable. Oh my god. Here, come on, tell me, big brother, tell me, Oni-chan. That's what she looks like. She's like the little sister asking for her, insistently asking for her brother to tell her the secret to help her. Yeah, so that means the others, the endings are down here. But I'm not gonna do them today. Simply put, I don't know. I'm starting to feel really tired. I mean, really tired. Maybe because I didn't have any form of caffeine or something along those lines. I highly doubt I'll be able to get 5 in time before Rise so he goes away. So let's just do this. And hope for the best. Wishes out of that, so it won't be showing up here. I'm at 68. Hopefully this is still up on by Sunday, and I'll try to get some more Primo Gens. But not right now. I'm actually really tired. I know I'm kind of cutting the stream a little bit early, but I'm trying to hold on a little bit. But this is what happens when I do a stream without coffee. I didn't have coffee because I actually had dinner. A bit of a heavy-ish dinner too. But yeah, I'm struggling to like keep my eyes open right now, especially with Lila being so sleepy. It doesn't help. Not to mention the heat I'm feeling right now. It is very hot, and it'll be kind of hot for the rest of the week as well. So here's hoping next week we finally get some real temperature drops, and this heat wave ends. But yeah, I'm gonna actually leave it there for tonight. So again, sorry I'm coming in early. I'm just way too tired. Tomorrow I'll be doing some Honkai Star Rail and Genshin. I'm gonna be continuing on Sunday. Let's see. I need to probably post something over on my Discord to ask for some advice. I have no idea what I'm gonna do on the 22nd, which is my 4 years of streaming, my stream anniversary. I have no idea what I'm gonna do then. I'm open for suggestions for those over on YouTube. Leave it down in the comments below. Maybe give me some ideas. Or if you're on my Discord, leave it over on my Discord as well. I'm more likely to see the Discord, but I do look at my YouTube comments as well. So again, that's gonna be it for today's stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm calling it there, Kirito. I'm feeling too tired. I'm gonna end it early for today. Between the heat, the fact that I didn't have any coffee, and Lila's sleepiness, it is becoming harder for me to like stay awake. I'll finish Lila's one probably on Sunday, since I don't think the update's out by Sunday. I think on Monday it comes out. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna have to relook at that date again. But yeah, I need to see some of this. So sorry again, I'm calling it early. Again from the top, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all next time. Good night, everyone. Bye bye.